Holy fricksicles! You are my first welcome.
Okay, mic on, music turned down ever so slightly. Hello. Hi, Cubby. Thank you very much for redeeming the super scary first. So today we are continuing on my cross-stitch stitch-along that we do every Sunday, the book club. I'm doing all right. It was a bit of a frustrating day today. We were trying to find some rubber boots for the little man because he's recently decided his rubber boots don't fit him anymore. And apparently, rubber boot season is over. So all stores barely have any left. Yeah. So we drove, the half an hour, 45 minutes into town to circle through 5 different stores before we finally bought a pair that we're not sure if they fit because by that time he was getting tired, cranky, and uncooperative. So we bought a pair that might be the right size, and we'll kind of let him play with them in the house over the next week and see if they're acceptable, or return them and keep looking. All the stores are in full summer mode now, so they don't think you still need rubber boots, despite the fact we live in one of the rainiest areas of Canada. But we'll see whether these ones work or we'll figure something out. But that killed a good chunk of the day just trying to do that. I'm not confident they're going to fit them. We bought them from a local, well, not local, a sports store here in the mall that was actually like European based. So their sizing is all more European based, which tends to be a narrower foot box. So, like, I know I have trouble fitting into their shoes. And he's got pretty wide, chubby, taller feet, so we'll see. But they have a decent return policy, so if they don't work, that's fine. We'll just figure something else out. We tried Walmart first because we thought that would be the slam dunk. I mean, I have looked online, but for me, the problem with online is just with the sizing being wonky and whatever and stuff like that. There's that. There's also the shipping, especially right now with Canada post threatening strike or not strike, and that online right now doesn't feel like a safe bet. Also, for likely having to sink prices into shipping fees and stuff like that for stuff that might have to get returned. Like, no. Yes, there was one at Christmas, and then they got mandated back to work and forced back on a temporary basis to try and rescue Christmas. And that temporary force back just ended this last week. So Friday, they started a partial strike where they are just refusing to do overtime. But that could escalate further. So mail's going to be moving slower than normal. But right now, at least it's still moving. We will see. Already almost the end of May. I'm so far behind on this project. But it's not the end of the world. That means it maybe will continue into next year rather than ending right at the end of the year. Yeah, I know, it's going so quick. But I am having a blast working this pattern. Just where I've only working it on Sunday nights, and I didn't really work on it during March. I got backed up pretty quick. I'll just do sign language. Back to Pixie. Our holiday was last weekend. Canada. Yeah, last weekend was our May holiday. Because we do Victoria Day rather than it's what, Memorial Day? Is that what weekend it is? Yeah, okay. Yeah, or we had Victoria Day. Um, well, I think it was last weekend. Or have I gotten my weeks melded? Yeah, it was last weekend. It shouldn't be that hard. We were we were playing with music in the car while we were driving around, just seeing what music the little guy would be interested in, because he's been obsessed with pretending to be a drummer. So we started getting into like Rage Against the Machine and stuff like that just to see what he would react to it. And so that's got me on a kicker now of wanting to listen to like what, early 2000s depression pop, alt rock, whatever it was. Yeah, it started falling into nostalgia land for us. Hence the playlist today. Oh yeah, next time I see Clan online, I have a funny thing to tell him. Uh, in the mix of the playlists, the Finland Eurovision song came on, and so I've got my little 3-year-old dancing in the back of the car. Oh, he already has part of a drum set. A friend of ours found a used professional drum set on his local like marketplace and bought it for my son when he was like 1.5 years old. But he's only been giving it to him in pieces. So right now he's just got the snare drum. And I think when they come down next month, he's bringing another piece down. But yeah, so like it's a well-used kit, but as a first kit that is potentially going to get destroyed by a wild child, that's a great thing. Yeah, I have some great friends sometimes. We've also got one of those, like, came from Walmart, I think, but it's like a little dog shaped keyboard that has like a little one of those really bad microphones attached. And like he doesn't really sing into the microphone, but just does like screamo. So he'll hold it right up against his face and go. "Ah!" It's so funny. Like he is a little screamo rock god. Because there's no chill to his drumming. There is, yeah, he's fabulous. Needless to say, though, the drum kit is not 24 access. It is in a closet and pulled out occasionally and then put away. Because that is maybe too much noise. Oh no. Pull the needle. Okay, so we've done that handle, this loop, and this loop. Oh, that's not so bad. Mm, I've been tempted several times recently to dye my hair again. I stopped dyeing my hair, must be 3 and a bit years ago, and I just kind of let it grow out. It's a good chunk grown out now. Like the last time I got my hair dyed, it was just like some streaks and stuff to try to blend in where the like dye line had stopped so that it would grow out more neutrally. Just 'cause I didn't want to have to keep maintaining it and everything like that. I've been tempted lately. Did auburn for a long time. I did blonde for a little while. I also did like gray with like lilac streaks. That was really fun but costly to maintain. problem, I'll be here. "6 minutes till you wash out." Bing, bing. This is a little teacup, I think, that we're stitching. Oh, it's two teacups stacked on top of each other. Okay. Can you recall whether Lewis Carroll wrote anything else other than the Wizard or the Alice in Wonderland series? I know there's a couple books in that series. Was there anything else they were famous for? Hmm. My mic settings are pretty good to not pick up My husband most of the time. Except when he suddenly yells. Yes. All right. That is all the white for right this second. Heavens. So sick of stitching white, especially on an ecru background like this. Oops. Mark those stitches. What's the next color? 3341. Pretty pink. We're making some quick progress today. Helps when there's good like section of kind of some colors to work on. Frequent color changes really slow things down. Hope we'll get all of Lewis Carroll done tonight. Should come close. I think Alice is right up here. We still have to do. And then I think there might be another book. And then just the frame. I'm not worried about the frame. I mostly stitch the frame as like counting references and fill it in later. Gonna be able to get to the end on this string. Cutting it close. Don't like that. Three more stitches. Come on, little string, you can do it. Normally I wouldn't bind off, save it until it was off stream before weaving in the end and the back, but I'm going to do it right away just because it's such a short end. Just a pain to take my whole stand off here. But kind of necessary with how short that end became. Well, you really can't see the color, right? It's all washed out a little bit. I wonder if there's anything I can do to fix that. Um, it brings it out a little more. It's a little closer. Hmm. Um, what's this one do? Nope. That doesn't seem to do much. This one do. We're just playing with filters. Oh no, let's not do that. Well, we're just gonna leave it at that. Okay. Whoops. Alright, let's put this one away. 3341. This one right there. 80. Ooh, hello. Thank you very much for the check-in, Silver of Dragon. Welcome in. This one. Ah, that's the color that I don't have. Crap. Okay. There's going to be a color missing in the teacup on top there. That's the color I am missing. I am having an alright evening, yes. Just hanging out here working on a project. Also reminiscing over old music I listened to when I was a teenager. 5 days. That must have either you work very, very quick or was a relatively small project. What were you working on? 'Ooh, a bobbin lace scarf. Well, that does not sound like a simple project. Bobbin lace is one of those things that absolutely blows my mind. I haven't tried to do it yet, but like my brain does not comprehend all of the bobbins. Like it's definitely something on like the distant list to try. few other things I want to try first, but that's definitely on the list. Both of those are sometimes. Because the other problem is that I'm a stay at home mom of a toddler. So my brain cells have gotten occupied with a lot of those dealings. Oh, for your mom, that's lovely. I did discover the other day that I apparently couldn't count to 7. I was crocheting a doily, and somewhere along the way, what was supposed to be like 8 or 9 sections of 7 repeats became several with 7, one with 8, and one with 6. And it just was not worth me continuing to fight with. My If that is the only two project like works in progress you have going, you're doing great. My list is too large. I couldn't even list it if I wanted to, I don't think. So this color blue goes to one before the end. Okay. Okay, so you do have more on the go too. Mhm. I'm gonna say it's a rare person who doesn't have a big giant pile of unfinished projects. And at the start of the year, I made like not so much like a New Year's resolution, but like just a list of like projects I had ongoing that I wanted to finish or things I wanted to try and get done this year. And as we're, you know, just quarter and a bit through the year, I am discovering that I didn't do most of those. Why am I winding this back on? I still need this color. Okay, so I'm missing the. Oh yeah, because the bobbin lace you do on like a pillow top as like your like workstation. I think I've seen that. All right. Let's make sure I'm still. Yeah, I am still in frame. Okay. A cookie pillow. Welcome back, Cubby. Oh, a round flat pillow. Okay. I don't know what their technical name is in English, but I think I know which one you're talking about. 2 and 2. Yeah, they were just telling me that they were working on some bobbin lace. Still one of the crafts that intimidates me. I'm sure I'll get there eventually. Because, like you, Cubby, pretty much anything involving a piece of string I'd like to try at some point. I'm working my way there. Alright, so we've got the teacups mostly done. I'm just missing one color of it that I'll have to come back with when I can get that color. Last time I was able to get to the craft store, they were sold out of the color that I needed. Of course. Silver, if you want to share your Instagram, you should be able to, I believe links are open. I would love to see it. Yeah, I saw your glow in the dark. I was thinking, if you wanted to use it on the project you're using it on, you could do like a couple rows around the gold so that that spot would glow in the dark. Or is around the gold all black? So like, yeah, the Golden Girls text. Oh, okay. Well, fair. Uh, Pretty. That is a pretty scarf. I'm looking at the next picture with the like 8 million bobbins, that yellow and white thing, and my mind is just feeling stressed. Yeah, okay, I was on the right Instagram profile. It is very beautiful though. Oh no, is that project not going well? I'll look more at the Instagram later when I'm off stream. But that shawl is gorgeous. I want to try doing a big cross stitch project at some point in time in tent stitch, where it's just the like one side of a cross stitch. And a lot of people do that with some of the really huge like full coverage pieces. I'm curious to try that as a way to, go a lot faster. No, I do mean tent stitch. That's how I've heard it called. It's basically like cross stitch, but you only do one leg of the cross stitch rather than both. I mean, maybe someone calls it Danish stitch? I've only ever heard it called tent stitch. Like camping tent. What is Danish stitch? Oh, yeah. Okay, I do a mix. I'm not good like that. Where like I will do like a row of the halves and then go back, and then sometimes I'll just do each individual stitch. I kind of mix mash. Yeah, but I've seen some people do a full coverage piece where they only ever do the one half of the stitch. They never actually go back and do the crosses. And when you're doing it on like higher fabric counts, like 18 or so, it's less noticeable. But it lets you get through the project a lot quicker. At least, so I've been told. Even when I'm doing smaller areas, like where I'm working on this little dress, I'll kind of do the like section. That way, I'm only doing the half stitch while I'm counting. And then I can go back and finish it in. Nope, ads. Um, this, and I'm going to start a new thread just because I don't want to be running as close as I did with the last one. So ads are starting pretty much any second here now. Uh-uh. Oops. Alright, so with the ad break here, I am just going to do a quick BRB. I'll be right back. Maybe not. There we go. My mic wasn't showing as on. Okay, counting. 1, 2, 3. That look right? Yeah. All right, when we finish this color, I'm going to take a quick little stitching break and sew the hair on Mr. Billy Bob. All right, everyone should be back from ads. Where can I bind this off? Just gonna hope it blends into the face, I think. Usually the pins are small enough. All right. That one off. Wind this one back onto the bobbin because we're done with this color for a minute. pattern. Okay, we're gonna take a brief little. All right, put them over here this time. So Billy Bob here is my scrap waste holder. I have been stitching on leftovers that I cut off. Here's mine. Not the right needle. What is this one? Okay. We're gonna get some more ends on them. So any ends that are over a couple inches when I cut them off of projects, I save them to put on as crazy hair for this guy. Once I have the hair all done, I might do like a haircut and make it prettier, not leave them all the length they are at now. We'll see. I think it'll get quite unmanageable. Little stack here. And this one's quite short. I'm gonna probably put it on the tail. Yeah, I've also been putting some hanging off his tail that are maybe a tad too short to go in the hair. But weren't short enough to go right in the garbage. Oh, that's a song. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't hit buttons. Uh-uh. Just... ends were too ragged on that piece. I just need to trim them a little smoother. Otherwise I was never going to get threaded. Trying to decide how far forward on his head to keep going. Okay, what else do we got? That's just too short. Mm-hmm. How long did I have my mic off? Well, shit. Hello, hello, how are you? Thank you very much for the follow. Good, I am glad you are doing good. We are just working on my book club stitch along, trying to finish up Lewis Carroll here. We already got Lewis Carroll, the Cheshire Cat, a couple cards, a looking glass, teacups, and now we're working on Alice. Heading home from work. Hopefully it was an alright day at work. Good. work security for a university campus? That makes sense then. Yeah, university campuses are generally pretty safe. Imagine it's more people being stupid than people being than dangerous people. One of the universities I went to had a great program. This university was like right downtown of a fairly major city. And so they had a great program that if you had any classes that were running late after dark, they had a volunteer service of students who would walk you home or a certain distance within the from like the edge of campus. So like they'll walk you to a bus stop and wait with you until your bus gets there, or walk you home if you live in the area close enough area, or walk you to your car or something like that. And it was a great service because it was just other students volunteering to do it. And so you would walk with a pair of other students so that they also weren't walking alone when they walked back. So it was nice because you had, two people to chat with on your walk wherever, and it was a great service. I used it quite a bit. I lived about a 15-minute walk from the campus, off campus. And I had one class that only ended at like 10 o'clock at night. And like the quickest way for me to walk home was through a very quiet, secluded residential neighborhood. But that neighborhood borders right on like a busy downtown. Oh, excuse me, a busy downtown, which can have some not great characters. So it's still not, even though it was a quiet residential neighborhood, it's also very secluded, so not a great thing to be walking around alone at night with. So it's nice to have just, some company for that walk. Got to meet some very interesting other students from, other years, other programs. Like, it was just also nice, yeah, that you're getting to meet other peers. Nothing wrong with the security guards, of course, but I just think it was a nice way to do it. So that it wasn't on the security to do it all the time, especially if you have, quite a few people requesting it at once. And so like you could also like pre-schedule it too. So if it was a thing where like I had this one class once a week every week, I had it pre-scheduled that they would always just meet me at the end of class. Or you could just call for the one off and they would come to you as soon as they could in the line of people. Okay, I need to change the batteries on my light here. It's getting hard to see. That makes a difference. You don't have to tell me exactly where, but what area of Canada are you in? Cool. I grew up in Ottawa, so pretty familiar with at least a small portion of Quebec. The university I'm talking about is actually the University of Ottawa. The province that everyone in Ottawa goes to drink a year earlier. Just cross a bridge and you're in a different province and you can drink a whole year earlier. Yeah, I would imagine that, yeah, if they see someone with military, they're like, yeah, we're not getting involved there. Alright. Haha, we have light again. Let's see my work. I'm surprised there isn't actually like some sort of conflict or something like that with wearing the uniform when you're not serving in a military purpose. I'm not saying it's bad, just I'm surprised. Alright, let's do Alice's arms and face. 2 days away from retiring from the security position? Or from military? Oh, okay. Two decades as of this Tuesday. Oh, congratulations. Impressive amount of time to work anywhere, yet alone military. think the longest I ever worked for one company was 6 years. And if I have it my way, I'm not working for anyone else ever again. We'll see whether that holds true. Or should I say I'm working for you through Twitch? Are we get Alice here tonight? Maybe I can't get her done. We'll see. I can feel myself starting to fade. It's where 9 o'clock hits and my body just starts going, "Mrrr." Shut down. No, I don't need a French knot there, if you don't mind, thread. Oh, we heard this song already. I object. Must be starting to get into repeats now. I just remembered I need to check. I'll put it quick. But nothing there. Maybe I'll just finish skin color here. Then we'll call it done for the day. Just pin this right here. There we go. All right. Let's see who is. Let me just push this out. Okay. Pretty good progress. Got all of the teacups minus the 2 little stripes done. Most of Alice done. Doing good. Let's kill the music and go check out who is in Twitchland. Oh, I think I already know where I'm going. Let's see. This is a thing I can do. Yeah. Um, let's go say hi to the lovely hijinks. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, and I hope I see you guys again tomorrow.